Rコース長としてですね、ここにいる10名、そしてあとは3ヶ月で留学してすでに帰国していた1名ということで、この学年は全員が留学をしたという、国際 R コースと名前が変わってからは初めてのケースになっております。それぞれの留学プログラム、あとはその期間というのがかなり違いますけれども、その中でさまざまな学びであったりとか気づきがあったかと思います。これからまたいろんなことを次につなげてもらいたいなというふうに思っておりますが、本日そういったところをですね、発表してまいりますので、それぞれの生徒がどれだけのことを感じて、そして成長してきたのかというところをご覧になっていただければなと思っております。ぜひ本日はどうぞよろしくお願いいたします。
これより国際 R コース4期生10名の帰国報告会を開催いたします。本日司会を務めさせていただきます国際 R コース2年塚山美沢です。よろしくお願いいたします。
皆さんおはようございます。保護者の皆様におかれましてはお忙しい中、報告会にご参加いただき誠にありがとうございます。また日頃からですね、本校の教育活動に対しましてご理解を賜っておりますこと、心から感謝を申し上げたいと思います。本当にありがとうございます。さて、留学生の皆さんにはですね、帰国、そして帰校とともにすでにご挨拶、報告会を開催しておりまして、私はそれを伺ってるんですけれども、本日改めて留学報告会を開催できることを大変嬉しく思っております。それはですね、留学した皆さんが無事何事もなく帰国したことの証であるからです。本当に良かったなというふうに思っています。果実校長室で帰国報告会を開催させていただきましたが、その中では最初に何を学んできたんですか、2つ目として日本をどのように振り返ったんですか、3つ目として皆さんの留学が皆さんの未来にどのようにつながっているんですかということについてお話を伺いました。皆さん一人一人ですね、留学の期間あるいは留学先も異なっているかもしれませんけども、日本を離れるということは日本を振り返る絶好の機会になったと考えています。今回の留学が少なくともですね、外国来産だけで終わることなく、ぜひですね、日本を振り返る契機にしてほしいなというふうに思っているところでございます。本日は留学の成果をですね、思う存分遺憾なく発揮していただければありがたいなと考えています。ところで、留学の意味はですね、一人一人異なっているかもしれませんが、私は皆さんがしっかり海外で勉強してきたということについては、帰国の挨拶を耳にした瞬間に感じたことがあります。一つ、英語を話す速度が格段にスピードアップされていたのではないかなというように感じました。多分ですね、ネイティブスピーカーの中で、そしてナチュラルスピードの英語にさらされる中でサバイバル生き残ってきたということが、その英語を聞いて感じたところでございます。2つ目なんですけれども、感謝の気持ちを伝えるのにアプリシエイトという単語を使っていたということです。実はこのアプリシエイトっていう単語はですね、ある物事を正しく評価する、そしてそのことによって良さが分かる、その本当の進化が分かるというふうな意味なんですね。でそのことからそれを分かって初めて感謝の気持ちにつながっていくということであります。英語で言いますと、これ英英辞典を引くと appreciate はですね to thank someone in a polite way or say that you are grateful for something they have done、 つまりあることに対して、きちんとお礼をする丁寧な表現だというふうに言われているんですね。最近よくトランプ大統領のコメントを耳にする機会あるかと思いますけれども、結構頻繁にアプリシエイトというふうに使っておりますので、ニュースと耳を傾けていただければありがたいなというふうに思っている次第です。結びになりますが、2つ申し上げて終わりたいと思います。1つ、留学という貴重な機会を与えてくださった保護者、あるいは関係者の皆様への感謝の気持ちを忘れないでいただきたいということです。1つ目、感謝の心です。2つ目、グローバルマインドについてです。海外で生活をしてきたと思いますけれども、今隣にいる人をリスペクト、大切にすることができなくて、文化、そして風土、歴史も異なる人たちと分かり合えることはありえないと私は思っています。したがってですね、ぜひ今隣にいる人を大事にしてほしい、リスペクトアザーズということになります。もちろん 日頃から Respect yourself と言って and others というふうに申し上げているんですけれども、両方だということになろうかと思います。このことがですね、グローバルマインドの第一歩につながっていく、そして皆さんの留学の成果が今後大いに発揮されていくものだというように考えております。大変期待しております。ということで、以上申し上げましてご挨拶とさせていただきます。本日はよろしくお願いいたします。
Good morning. I'm Sarah. I stayed in New Zealand for 1 year. These are the contents of my presentation. First of all, I'm going to talk about why I decided to study abroad. I have two main reasons. First, I wanted to improve my English skills, especially speaking. Second, I wanted to be confident in myself. Next, I'm going to talk about New Zealand and my school. To be honest, I wasn't sure about New Zealand or Tauranga before I stayed there. I only knew kiwifruit is grown in New Zealand, but now I can talk about a lot of good things about New Zealand. I have been to a lot of towns, not only the North Island. Every time I visit somewhere in New Zealand, I was like, it's so beautiful. Nature is so healing and breathtaking, such as the beaches, the lakes, and the mountains. The weather is normally warm or hot. Obviously, Tauranga is hotter than Iwate. Now, I'm going to talk about my school, Almoita College. Almoita College has 12 students, and those students are 12 years old to 18 years old. Almoita College has many subjects. I was taking 2 English classes, dance, photography, cafe, business, and self-study. I want to talk about my cafe class and business class because cafe class was my favorite and business class was the hardest. Cafe class was so fun and useful. I made muffins, sushi balls, chocolate bread, and many drinks. Business class was also very useful, but I couldn't understand much because the words were so difficult to understand. But I think this class was the most useful for students because I could learn how we can earn money and how we can organize a company. It was so hard and I wanted to quit, but now I'm glad I didn't quit. Next, I'm going to talk about my house family. I have a house mother, house sister, and house brother. They were so kind and humorous. I was always having fun with them. When I was sick or depressed, they always supported me and they were so sweet and helpful. My best memory with my house family was traveling to the South Island. Queenstown was one of my favorites and they were so beautiful. And I had so much fun with my house family there. Finally, I'm going to talk about my growth and my future plans. I think my biggest goal was knowing the importance of never giving up. Honestly, when I was depressed, I wanted to go home, but I had no choice to go home because I didn't want to give up and I wanted to succeed in something by myself. I have some future plans. I'm not sure about what I want to do in the future yet, but I was helped by a study abroad company person at Narita Airport that was so inspiring for me, and I'm thinking I want to be like her in the future. Above all, I want to keep learning English. Thank you for listening. この留学を通して多方面でたくさんの成長ができました。留学に関わってくださった人々への感謝を忘れずに今後生活をしていきたいと思います。ありがとうございました。
Hello, I'm Sarah. I studied abroad in Adelaide, Australia for 1 year. I like to start presentation about my study abroad. This is the contents. I thought speaking English would be an essential skill for this generation. I decided to study abroad because I wanted to speak English, communicate with people who speak other languages, and half the people on earth speak English. I was also interested in foreign countries, and I wanted to speak English fluently. I stayed in Adelaide City, Australia for 322 days. There was a kind of big park opposite my house. Adelaide always has such a good weather. It rains once every few months except for some days. The weather is so beautiful because it's so hot but not humid. The temperature is sometimes over 40 degrees. I went to Charles Campbell College in the Paradise area, which took only 5 minutes from my home on foot. There are 1,282 students in years 7 to 12. In my school in Adelaide, I was using a laptop every class and submitting my homework on it. So using a laptop was essential. Many teachers were good in Adelaide. In class, they always explained things well for me to understand, and they helped me sometimes. I lived with my host mother. Her family came home at least once a week, and we all had dinner together. My host mother was Italian, therefore she was pretty good at cooking, and she always made a lot of dishes, so I love her cooking. First of all, my English skills have improved, especially in speaking English, which was the thing I struggled with the most. Also, my mindset has improved because of living in not familiar place with a different culture, and I missed my family and friends. It was tricky to get used to living there. However, overcoming these things, my mindset has also improved. I'm not afraid of speaking English a little bit. I gained confidence. There is a difference between Japan and Australia in saying thank you in words or by bowing. In Australia, most people say thank you through words. In Japan, it depends on the situation, but people tend to say thank you by bowing. When people are about to cry, Australians say excuse me. Japanese people tend to say sorry by bowing. I sometimes had a fun time with my friends, who made my English skills improved. We sometimes couldn't get what each other said, however, we were trying to understand each other. They are still my good friends. Spending time in not familiar environment, speaking a different language, missing my family and friends, and having to finish a large amount of homework every day were things I struggled with. When I couldn't deal with things, I talked with my friends and family. I'd like to speak English confidently, communicate with several people, and use English in my career. Throughout this study abroad, I felt that my English skills were improving. To be able to speak English more naturally, I need to keep learning English for longer. I want to become a rich person and live my life more freely. Speaking English can expand my perspectives and increase my choices to achieve these goals. Through studying abroad, I did everything I could with all the effort I had. Overall, I'm glad I was able to study abroad. I was supported by a lot of people. I truly appreciate the people who supported me. 留学は知的財産です。留学をさせてくれた親や育ててくれた人には感謝します。Thank you for listening.
Good morning. I'm Karin Sato. Today, I'd like to talk about my study abroad experience and my life in Canada. I had a desire to study abroad in the future. I chose Canada because I thought it was not as hot as Australia. I will talk about the purpose of my study abroad experience. I have 3 reasons. I wanted to make friends, and I wanted to improve my English skills, and I wanted to know the different cultures in Canada. I'm going to talk about my school and classes. I went to Spectrum Community School, and my school is popular for dance, and my school has won a lot of dance competitions, and my class also received an award. This is a picture from that time, and this is a photo of my memories with my dance teacher and friends, and this is my absolute favorite class. I took dance classes in my first and second semesters. I made a lot of friends in this class. In Canada, students take 4 classes per semester, and each class is 80 minutes. At my school, we could go home after 2 p.m. on Tuesday and Fridays. That was the first semester for me, but I was in grade 11. In Canada, it was already the second semester. During that time, I had social study, EAL, dance, and baking classes. My social study classes was so difficult for me. It was because I didn't know much about Canadian history. That's why it was hard, but my friend helped me, so I was able to enjoy the class. EAL class was only our international students, and I would say about 80% of them were Japanese. That the teacher gave me a lot of thanks. Baking class was so much fun. I love baking. I baked with my team members and they were so kind. I loved this class. It was the first semester in Canada, but the second semester for me. I was in grade 12. During that time, I had criminology, marketing, dance, and food classes. My friends said that even for Canadians, criminology class was difficult, so of course it was hard for me too. But it was interesting and good experience. I learned about laws, guns, and incidents. These are the photos. In marketing class, I want to learn about marketing, and it is something useful for college, so it was a great experience. I created a product and brand with my teammates, and I went on a field trip. Food class was almost like the baking class. We did similar things as well. For Christmas, we made high quality treat like a gingerbread house. I often made heart-shaped things. Next, I will introduce the event. For Halloween, I wore a costume with my friend. I don't know if you know it, but I wore a Monster High Dracula costume. I also went trick-or-treating with my friends. We usually don't go trick-or-treating in Japan, right? It was so much fun. Let's talk about my birthday. My friends gave me a lot of presents and letters. They surprised me with a birthday plate. I was so happy. I'm going to talk about the winter formal. I would say it's my best memory because I can't experience this kind of party in Japan. It was a fun and unique experience. The winter formal is a school-sponsored party that only grade 12 students are able to join. It takes place at the end of the semester. Next is Christmas. During the Christmas season, I was able to see parade and other events in various places. I also went to Vancouver. Everything was so high quality and beautiful. For the New Year, I went ski with my host family. I enjoyed a Canadian snow with my roommate. I will talk about the volunteer. I enjoyed a volunteer organization and participated in various volunteer activities. I often went to beach cleanup. Even so, I went several times. The sea was always beautiful, and I never got bored. We also got snacks, which was fun. During Victoria Day, I participated in a parade, and it was a valuable experience. I can't say that my host family was such a good experience, and I don't want to talk about that because I changed 7 times. But I made a lot of good friends, and that's why I loved staying in Canada. My friends wrote messages and signed a Canadian flag, and I think it's like an annual event for international students. At that time, I didn't want to go home, and I was so sad. When I was leaving, my friend gave me many presents and letters. I'm looking forward to the day when I can meet these friends again. Thank you for attention. この留学に携わって支えてくれた先生方、そして家族、その皆さん、本当にもちろん友達にも感謝しています。ありがとうございました。
Hello, I'm Mirai. Today I would like to introduce my study in Canada. So let me talk about why I decided to study abroad. I have been interested in Polish culture for a long time. I've loved Western music and Polish dramas since I was a little girl. I used to try to copy singing or watch TV shows about that. Also, I wanted to study abroad for my personal growth. I was hoping to make friends from different countries. Next, I will talk about Victoria. Victoria is a small city like Morioka. There are not as many people as there in Vancouver. It's more easygoing. There are 4 seasons in Victoria, just like in Japan. The city had a British-style streetscape. People from many countries live there. I attended Mount Douglas Secondary School. This school welcomed many international students, so I was able to make friends with many international students. There are about 1,115 students. It is a large high school. Each season has an event. For example, there is a dance show, Halloween party, and Christmas party, which was so fun. About the classes, the timetable is organized into 4 classes. We didn't have any homeroom at school, so I felt the difference. Each class is 80 minutes. My favorite class were art and yoga. I like doing stuff like creative work, so I really enjoy that. In yoga class, we learned some poses and about mindfulness. Next, I'm going to talk about my host family. I lived with my host mother and roommate. My host mother is Canadian. She was always kind to me, and she was a powerful person. On the weekends, she often took us shopping and to the beach. I had a Swiss, Brazilian, Korean, Mexican, Chinese, and Vietnamese roommate during my time there. I often hung out with them after school. We have a huge orange cat named Gailey. He was so cute and healing. I want to talk about how my study experience helped me. I was able to overcome difficulties. I can speak my mind. I learned the importance of taking action on my own. I realized I had the support of many people. This is my year in review. From January to April, everything was new and exciting. I was very nervous on the first day of school, but as I got used to it, I made a lot of friends and began to enjoy myself. From May to September, the second semester ended in June. I had to say farewell to people who become my good friends. It was hard for me to say goodbye, but I met new people during the summer vacation and the new semester. During the summer vacation, I went to summer camps and language school. I started to miss Japan this time. From October to January, I traveled to Seattle on a school trip. I was able to make friends. I'm glad I finally got to go there, as I always wanted to visit. I also attended Winter Formal. Winter Formal is a dance party similar to prom. My friends and I wore dresses and had fun. I became completely familiar with life in Canada. About the future, I want to go to college and learn English more. I think that I would like to continue to challenge myself in all kinds of things. I would like to work in the hospitality industry. By using my English, I wish to convey the good qualities of Japan to visitors. 最後に留学をサポートしてくれた家族、友達、先生方にとても感謝しています。この特別な経験を忘れずに、これからも英語の勉強に励みたいと思います。Thank you for listening.
映して